Hello, I'm Anthony, back on track with Riversong today, and we have a solo. All of this mass of data down here is a stereo guitar part recorded in call and response mode. We'll have a chat about it once I've played it. I'm going to start the song from basically the last verse of It's still a piano guide vocal. We did hope to get the vocals sung this weekend, but it didn't happen for one reason and another. And then we're going to lead into this solo, which is basically going to be an outro. It'll fade out. We'll talk about the context of that a little bit later. I'm just going to get it going, listen to it, and then we'll come back and have a chat. Fade out will actually be longer than that. I need to turn the microphone back on. So basically what we've got going on here, as you can see and hear, is a stereo pair of guitar recordings. So basically A and B are mirror images of each other, but they are genuinely independently played, so we don't have any phasing problems. Panned relatively hard left and right, as you can see. I also noticed that during playback of that song I've got my routing wrong. I'm not actually going through my my solo sub at the moment. That's because these are tracks that have just been recorded. When I'm recording solos, I go direct to the stereo out, and I've obviously got me routing wrong. They're supposed to be controlled from this fader here. Neither here nor there, doesn't really matter. But this idea of the call and response solo is something that I've dabbled with a little bit in songs in the past, but I've never done it quite this comprehensively, where we have a phrase that's then picked up by exactly the same guitar settings. A and B have got identical inserts on the tracks, but it allows me to just spill over into the next phrase in a deliberate way. If it's done deliberately, I think it's absolutely fine. I think if you're going to use this technique, you've got to do it deliberately because you've got to know how to merge the parts back together again. Let's just have an example of one of these transitions so I can really clearly highlight what's going on. Got a main melody going on in this B section here, and it's going to transition into a chicken picking kind of style that can start as early as it likes because it's not being impeded by the main melody. It gives me a great degree of flexibility when I'm writing the solo, knowing that these phrases are going to merge together. And over the course of the song, I think it generates a really nice effect. The point in the composition of the solo when I decided I was going to need to use this effect was a very deliberate one. These two phrases are a deliberate call and response. If I'd have played those on a single track, I would have had to abort that initial note too quickly. I would have had to basically cut it short in order to physically get to the position where I could play the second chord quickly enough. So just having that ability to breathe a little bit longer, I really enjoy. I'm starting to think that this will be one of the more common approaches to solo writing for me in the future. So what we've got basically now is the structure of the song pretty much done. This is one of those things where I had absolutely no idea there was going to be a solo until it happened. I was just kind of jamming along one day, just enjoying myself, and I thought, this is actually how I want to end the song. And so it kind of segues very nicely together. We're not truly going to get the effect until I've got the vocals. I really like the effect where you have a sung vocal and the last note of the sung vocal leads immediately into the solo. So this lyric here is tells a better lie, and the last word of the lie will lead straight into the solo. It also allows Pauline to take a little bit longer, like basically stretching out that extra note and forming part of the solo temporarily before she fades out. So that's the structure of the song completely finished now. I'm very happy with it. And I've got this dual kind of nature thing going on at the moment where I'm very much writing this song in the context of what it's going to be in the album. Because we've got this fade out of the solo at the end, I've deliberately played a phrase that's long enough to carry the fade out very comfortably. At the end of the album, there's a song called River's End, which is only in proto form at the moment, and that will fade in. Basically, the end of this song will essentially fade up, but obviously there's an awful lot of stuff in between as well. Because I can only concentrate on so many things at any given time, I've decided to just stop work on River's End completely for the moment, concentrate on this one, get this absolutely right. I'm also, and we'll deal with this in the video series where I'm talking about the album, constantly rearranging the play order of the tracks, and I want there's going to be like a transition piece in between two of the songs that will reintroduce this motif from Riversong. I might have a tiny little bit of a solo in that as well. So I'm just kind of fascinated by this concept of taking the themes and motifs of this piece of music and kind of playing with them over the course of a longer piece of music. And always I've got this kind of amber alert flashing in the back of my mind. Don't be pretentious. It's really, really easy to get kind of carried away with this stuff, because I was pretty much at the stage where I was ready to have the lyrics sung. They're very nearly finished. I'm going to use the fact that we're not singing this week to have one more review. There's a couple of lines that I'm no longer happy with that I was perfectly happy with at the weekend. This is one of these things that it's just a constantly fine balance between trying to maintain some sort of spark of creativity and that kind of sense of newness when a song is kind of fresh. You generally get most of your best ideas there, but by the same token, some of them might be absolute stinkers, and it can take a couple of weeks for them to kind of, the weeds to grow. So yeah, a little bit more work to be done on the lyrics, but this song has fallen together surprisingly simply. It's been a real joy to work on, and I'm anxious now to kind of get to work on this kind of piecing together of all of the various parts. Anyway, I'm babbling now. If you've got nothing intelligent to say, don't say anything. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit the like button. I'll see you for the next one. Thanks a lot.